99 cars of 167 started this morning after the rest day here in Dakar. Here we are, Stefan Orard. He said yesterday the rest day didn't go well. We had a strange noise in the gearbox before the rest day, and we went through the gearbox, we looked at everything, and we couldn't find anything. So I haven't slept well. I've been worrying about it all night. And he was to worry justifiably. Stefan Orard, only a few kilometres into the stage, had, guess what? Yes, you're right, gearbox problems, and he was to go no further. He says transmission has gone completely wrong, and I'm going to return back to the bivouac. So, whilst everyone else was on the stage, Stefan even had former teammate Jean-Louis Schlesser to come and help, and, well, the news was bad news. Orard out of the rally. Former leader of this year's rally, Bruno Sabi, also running into problems, again with gearbox problems, but it is actually the gear linkage at the top in the cockpit that something's gone wrong with. So soon Juha Kankkunen and Juha Repo, teammates of course with the Volkswagen Touareg, were on hand. Kankkunen under the car with Repo and the Flying Finns, well, flying mechanics. Soon though, Bruno Sabi eventually getting it fixed from within the cockpit.
Hey, c'est bon, oh Michel, c'est bon, c'était pas serré seulement.
Got it all sorted, and all hands on deck were soon transformed to getting everything back on the road with his Touareg. Sabi losing maybe an hour and 20 minutes with the problem. He was 10th on today's stage. He continues to hold 7th overall, or dropping to 7th overall. Jose Maria Servia, he got 9th on today's stage, but he's way down the order with time lost earlier in the rally. Grégoire de Mavius had a big accident though. The rear kicked up and he went end over end. Jackie Dubois saying there was a jump. I didn't see it until it was only too late, maybe even 20 metres in front of us, and over we went. Look at the rear end of that Nissan. It is completely put out of joint. De Mavius was airlifted back to the bivouac, and although it looked bad, the Belgian was relatively okay. Maybe even just tweaked a previous back injury from the 2000 Dakar when he had another big accident. Ironically, he had that accident with Carlos Souza all those years ago. Souza going well. He started today's stage 4th overall, but he lost time on the stage and has yet to arrive into Qatar this evening. Bad news for the Portuguese driver, who was looking so well to get maybe even a podium finish come Sunday afternoon. Right then, what about the Works Nissans? Well, Works Nissan of Janil de Villiers. De Villiers losing maybe 20 minutes on the stage today with punctures, let alone getting stuck in the sand. Can you imagine driving out there in sand like this? Teammate Ari Vatanen started not far behind the South African and was soon on hand to help, but with sand such as this, what help can you give? De Villiers coming home today in 6th position on the stage. He's now up to 4th overall. Robbie Gordon was flying, as always, with his Volkswagen Touareg. He hooked up with Jutta Kleinschmidt. Gordon really been given, I suppose, team orders to assist Jutta Kleinschmidt to get to the end of the rally safely and securely. Robbie Gordon, remember that he lost time 3 or 4 stages ago. Gordon now 12 hours behind the overall lead, but Kleinschmidt still in 3rd overall. She started 40 minutes back, but she has now lost a few more minutes. She's 1 hour and 10 minutes back. Still though in 3rd overall. Volkswagen really upping the ante as a manufacturer on the Dakar. And even though she struggled just to crest some of the dunes, she's safe and well this evening. on board with Robbie Gordon. 5.5 hours on the stage today, getting really battered about inside the cockpit. There may be a sandstorm, but fortunately it's not as hot as it should be here in Mauritania at this time of year. It's a little cooler inside. Well, what about Hiroshi Matsuoka? Bad news for the former victor of the Dakar. He's out. He stopped on the stage. Mechanical woes with the 4-litre V6, and it was going nowhere fast. Andreas Schultz, an experienced mechanic, knew the worst. They were a long way from home. Matsuoka saying, we were going quickly, and then all of a sudden I rather fancy that the engine has broken. I don't understand why, because yesterday we checked everything with the engine, in fact the whole car. We wanted to go well today, and now it's finished. Bad news also for another Mitsubishi, this time the L200 of Andrea Meyer. She's still out in the stage as of the time of this broadcast. Therefore, it was down to Luc Alphonse and Stefan Petterhansel, but it was Luc Alphonse who shadowed Petterhansel on the stage today. Luc Alphonse and Petterhansel doing the stage in unison, formation flying for the Mitsubishi Evo 3s. They stopped to let the pressures down. They let them down to some 1.3 bar before the very soft sands. After, of course, the new rule for 2005, no automatic in-car remote inflation-deflation systems for the works machines. The crew have to get out and do it themselves, just as they used to do in the old days. Stefan Petterhansel, though, he has slightly increased his lead over teammate Alphonse, but more importantly, the pair of them have increased their lead over Jutta Kleinschmidt's third position. Petterhansel technically is 21.5 minutes back, ahead of Alphonse. Jutta Kleinschmidt 1 hour 10 minutes back in third.
There is no defense against the sands of time. And as time runs out, we must either run with it or be buried. The Dakar Rally. Time courts lubricant.